Today, we're going to step into a space where art isn't just something you look at. We're going to enter an artist's lifelong conversation with the dead. For the incredible British painter Maggi Hambling, the canvas is really a kind of bridge, a pathway to the subconscious. And to really get her work, we have to understand the invisible forces she believes connect our world to the next.
Okay, so that's a pretty startling way to begin, right? An almost mythic thing to say. But trust me, this isn't just for shock value. This single dream is basically the source code, the key that unlocks her entire artistic universe. To get Hambling, we first have to understand why she wants to merge with this creature, this messenger.
And that messenger, of course, is the heron. Before we even think about a single brushstroke or the shape of a sculpture, we've got to grasp the role this one bird plays in her personal mythology. It is, for her, the ultimate bridge between all worlds.
Hambling calls the heron a liminal figure, which is just a way of saying it exists on a threshold, on the edge of things. Think about it. A heron stands on the riverbank, one foot in the water, one on land. It bridges the conscious and unconscious. It becomes her own personal guide, ferrying messages and flashes of inspiration from whatever lies beyond, right into her studio.
So if the heron is the symbol of this connection, what's the actual method? I mean, how does an artist set out to consciously build a bridge to their own unconscious? Well, for Hambling, the answer is a daily ritual, one that's specifically designed to get the thinking mind, the ego, out of the way.
Every single day it starts at 5 a.m. She grabs an ink dropper, but here's the key. She puts it in her left, non-dominant hand. Now this is a deliberate move to bypass skill, to get rid of conscious control. This isn't about making a pretty drawing. It's about pure surrender. Her hand moves wildly, erratically, sometimes with her eyes shut, creating what she calls subconscious drawings. And listen, this isn't just a warm-up. It's an absolute prerequisite. The real work can't begin until she's opened this channel.
And that quote says it all, doesn't it? It's this profound letting go of the ego. She doesn't see herself as a master commanding the paint. No, she's a servant to the work itself. She has this belief that the painting already exists somewhere, fully formed, and her job is to just finally get out of its way so it can emerge.
This really reveals a crucial two-part system in her work. Those morning drawings, they're like a ritual for opening the door, a preparation. But the painting that comes after, that is a deeply private, almost alchemical process. It's a communion so intimate, she calls it an alchemical mystery, and it's something that can never be filmed or witnessed. The world has to completely disappear for the real work to show up.
So, what happens when you take this raw, intuitive, almost channeled process and you aim it squarely at the biggest subject of all, that thin, mysterious veil between life and death?
For Maggi Hambling, death isn't the end of the line. It's more like a change of address. The people she's loved and lost, they aren't gone. They're not ghosts. They are living, breathing presences right inside of her. And her art? Well, that becomes the way their lives continue to be expressed.
Let's just take her drawings of her father, which she made after he passed away. Look closely. These are not sad, static death masks. The lines are restless. They're buzzing with animation. His mouth is open, like he was caught in the middle of a breath. She's not trying to capture the finality of death. She's channeling the very real, palpable energy of a spirit who is still living and breathing through her.
And this, right here, is the ultimate goal of her work. It's not about showing life or death. It's about discovering that strange, mysterious place where the two can actually coexist, where that boundary we're all so scared of just dissolves.
Okay, but how does a philosophy that's so deeply personal work on a huge public scale? For the answer, we have to go to a busy London street, right across from Charing Cross Station.
I mean, this was the central problem Hambling had to solve. How do you make a sculpture that isn't just a static memorial, but a living, breathing conversation? How do you cast a bronze statue that somehow keeps Oscar Wilde talking more than a century after his death?
The design itself is brilliant. First, the title is literally a conversation. Then notice that Wilde isn't up on some pedestal you have to look up to. He's rising out of a coffin-like bench, like he's constantly rejoining the city, rejoining our conversation. And see those gaping holes in the bronze? They invite you to look through him, not just at him. He's a part of the air. This whole thing isn't built for reverence. It's designed for you to sit down and engage.
And right here, this is where all the different threads finally come together.
The heron as the bridge, the subconscious drawings as the channel, the portraits that defy death. It all weaves into one powerful, unifying idea.
She has a name for this whole philosophy: breaking bread with the dead. It's her term for what she believes is art's most important job. It's the idea that you can continue the relationship, you can share a meal, you can keep the conversation going right across that veil. It's this profound acceptance that death isn't the opposite of life, it's simply the other half of life.
You know, you'd think that all this focus on mortality would be pretty grim, but what's so amazing is that it has the opposite effect. It makes the present moment incredibly powerful, almost electric. Hambling's art is this huge reminder that, on our short journey towards death, this very instant, right now, is the only chance we have to be completely and totally alive.
Maggi Hambling uses her art to listen for her father, for Oscar Wilde, for all the people she carries inside her. So if art really is a channel, if it's a way to have a conversation with those who are gone, who are you listening for?